glad I stopped up here because Sheriff called me on his way, saw me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We're in the overflow drainage of the acid canal at Parkview. There's a little room back here. This is the room that gathers the water before it shoots down this tube. Just to stop buildup and stuff like that, to prevent buildup from coming into this room. But the acid canal is right on the other side of this beam. Maybe if I can walk on it. You can see the tube. I'm giving a video tour of the acid canal drainage at Parkview. There's Parkview up there, and here's the acid canal. And this speed bump right here is actually not a speed bump. It's a pipe, underground pipe. We could see it from the other end. But there was a time that I was living in that tunnel that the water didn't flow, and there was a whole bunch of water backed up on the other side of this speed bump, right? It's got like a little low water dam. And I got a siphon hose going across it, not knowing how big it, I mean, there was no rain or anything. This was just the water that was held back by this speed bump. I got a siphon going and it ran for 4 days. It took like almost half a day just for the water to reach to where it was flowing. And then once it started flowing, it just kept flowing. There's April up there on the hilltop. What was cool about this campsite is that whenever Bob showed up, the homeless enforcer, that you could just escape right out here through the back. So you never even had to see him. And there's a time that I wanted to, this thing is always at this full because the lip right there, if I got a siphon going all the way down this tube right there, I could drain this little place. But I couldn't do it. All you could do is raise the ground level in here to make it dry land. So I had shovels on the other side of that wall, throwing shovel loads over this wall and waiting until I didn't hear splashes anymore. Because once I threw a shovel load over the wall and it hit solid ground, I was happy, you know, I did it. But it's all washed away now. That used to be solid ground right there. Not that corner though, that corner was still flooded. I put pallets in here. This is more than 40 feet tunnel. Oh, when the water's flowing down here, it's hard to walk. You have to really spray because each foot, oh, you can't see my feet. Each foot has to go like 4, it's like 4 and 7 clock positions. That's where you have to walk. No, 4 and 8. I put a couple pallets in there and it made it so the water flows right underneath me. Here's the steps I built. I wanted to make this lake mark. There's another. Ooh, it's starting to fill up now. Look. These are storm drains. So this one here never squirts out water. It's only acid canal runoff. But these over here, these are just directly. These are all the parking lots. The city hall and Taylor Motors, library. They all come right here. That's a little blue. I painted that blue about 2 years ago. It's no coincidence, it's the same color blue that Park Marina Motors is. It was done at the same time as their construction. This is like one of the first dams I built in about a year. It's not filled in though, it's kind of weak actually. Yeah, it's not my best work, but I figured that there's so much water going to be, if it really started to pour, it would fill up. I just found a quarter on the ground. You know, the number one rule when you find money, look for more. Nobody puts money there. It's there accidentally. And accidents are fucking contagious. So we're about 30 feet below the street level right now. There's just this big valley that was carved into the, I didn't think it used to be this big. "20-inch room for storage unit, dude." Now let me show you my idea about making, you see this, I call this like the mini Grand Canyon. Okay, there's still this huge valley right here. And one of the things I never noticed before, I was like, this pipe sticks out of the wall over here. But it never leaks any water. It's not a store. Even when it's raining, not a single drop will come out of it. Where's it at? And then my dad pointed out something. First time he was here, he's like, I lived here for like 4-5 months. Oh, the pipe finally came out. What? Well, that's a piece of history right there. This pipe was sticking out of this wall. And it was like, okay, I didn't know what it was. Nothing ever, it was just a dead pipe, about 4 feet under. And then you look at where the pipe is pointing towards. It's pointing straight towards that old bridge embankment on the other side. The old bridge, like the pillar. It's like, this is the old water line that shot over the bridge and into the, it's like they discontinued use of it. So when they dug this canal, they cut it off at the ground level, but so much erosion has happened that the pipe just ended up sticking out. People were like teepeeing their tarps over top of the pipe. It was just like, nobody knew what it did, or maybe they did know and just weren't telling me. And so like I had this idea of turning a culvert into a safe by drilling holes in it and then looping cable through the holes like a spider web, so nobody would be able to go into the culvert to retrieve your stuff, and you'd lock your stuff in there. And then I saw these holes in here. It's like, did someone have my culvert idea? But it doesn't work with this because it's only a half dome. There's not holes on the other side to thread it to. And so this thing right here is the only exit for this whole canal. And it's got holes right here on the edges of the culvert. With a truckload of carpet and about 30 sticks of rebar, I could dam this up. A good rain hit. I would call it Lake Mark. I would have to trim these trees that are growing out of the center because I don't want any trees in the center of Lake Mark. And what would be the real weird thing about it is, as soon as this water level got to, if I dam this up completely, as soon as the water level got to my feet, the dam would be underwater. It would eventually crest on the road, but no property damage. It would be a prank. It wouldn't flood anybody's houses or anything. It's just a big. It would just fill up this big canyon. We'd have a 7,000,000,000 gallon lake, 30 feet deep, 300 feet across. A lot of water. Sell it to fucking LA. But then the river did something. When the river flooded, it actually flooded back into this canal. And it's like, I was sitting there and I was like, dude, the river's cheating me out of my glory. It's like, I wanted to flood this fucking canyon. And the river just backs up and does it for me. Oh, it was terrible. But it made me look, it made me see what Lake Mark would be. Even though I didn't fucking create it. But what would be the real thing is when somebody tried to access my dam, once it got submerged and it was up to the road level, accessing my dam would be walking through a Quonset hut style dome culvert onto a wall. And you're all interior. A wall of stressed carpet and rebar. That'd be scary.